Cardano has had a struggling 2022, although this has changed recently. Up to 34% in the previous month and 26% in the past week. If you own Cardano, you're probably wondering if it's about time. But this doesn't imply that we don't have questions, such as why did this surge appear out of nowhere? How long do you think this will last? What does Cardano have planned for the remainder of 2022? So far, Cardano appears to be pursuing a rational path. When we look at their 3-month chart, we can observe that a price increase occurred in the middle of January. That may appear to be a bit of a fluke, but the explanation is dApp activity. The debut of SundaeSwap in January was an example of this. Cardano experienced a brief price increase before plummeting along with the majority of the market. Even though the price motion after that was uninteresting, the increase in price was crucial because it demonstrated to the crypto community that Cardano can utilize a DEX. Of course, there are a few problems, but it's still a DEX. The good news is that negative price action does not mean that developers will cease building. Sure, they're probably not as excited about developing on a blockchain that's losing value, but that's crypto. When your value is upward, you're really elevating. When you're low, you're really descending. They are, however, still in construction. So, we had that January surge and proof of concept, which was succeeded by a state of misery, and now we're witnessing huge gains again from that hole. So, how did it lead to this? Stay tuned. Welcome to Critique, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming. Cardano, it turns out, had a massive increase in TVL. That stands for Total Value Locked, which is essentially money put in the ecosystem. A greater TVL indicates that it is truly in use. Now comes the matter of how high the TVL is in comparison to similar projects. Also, what's the deal with the abrupt increase? Let's start with the numbers. We can examine all of the major blockchains and view the total value locked on every one of them. Thanks to DeFi Llama, we can now get a better picture of what's happening. We can witness an outburst of development in Cardano's TVL chart over the last month. This is a lovely sign, but it only tells part of the story. We ought to compare other chains to Cardano to get a better understanding of this. By far, the most valuable in TVL is Ethereum, which is followed by Terra and afterwards the Binance Smart Chain. Cardano is located in the 27th position after scrolling down quite a little. Cardano now has over $300 million in TVL, which is a huge increase from just a month ago. And you might be wondering that if Cardano is a top 10 cryptocurrency, why is its TVL so low compared to several other chains? And the basic explanation is that TVL is only one part of the equation when it comes to determining value. The price of a cryptocurrency is determined by a variety of factors, including overall technology, promotional partnerships, future developments, and a million other variables. Don't get me wrong, TVL is significant, but Cardano is being provided a bit of a boost owing to other variables around its pricing, such as collaborations and roadmap. Cardano would be a matter for concern if it remained in 27th rank a year from now. As a result, TVL is a metric to monitor tabs on. In any case, this value locked is increasing, indicating that something has transpired in the network. What exactly is it? Well, thanks to the launch of SundaeSwap in January, we witnessed an initial increase in TVL. Then, MinSwap, a new Cardano DEX, was established. If you've been monitoring Cardano for a while, You may recall MinSwap, since these were in the news this past August because of their testnet catastrophe. What transpired was that they launched their dApp's testnet, and surprisingly, the prototype needed work. This produced a media frenzy at that moment, but it proved out to be exaggerated. In any case, MinSwap gradually fixed the problems and launched in full in 2022, devouring more and more TVL for itself and the Cardano ecosystem. But then they hit yet another block, this time a serious one. MinSwap recently fell into maintenance mode, lasting 50 hours due to a fault in their smart contract, which might have made MinSwap open to manipulation by a hacker. All of the ADA in their Skatepool smart contracts, valued at $200 million, might have been taken and plundered. Both MinSwap and Cardano would have suffered as a result. So, how did this occur in the first place? Of course, MinSwap wrote the code and double-checked it. As a routine procedure, they had the code audited. The audits were then made public, and a kind-hearted entity rescued the day by discovering the issue. Then, rather than just stealing the money, reported it to MinSwap. MinSwap has since addressed the problem, and no users have been plundered as a result. Now, after reading some technical documentation, I discovered that the problem would have enabled someone to duplicate pooled tokens and steal money. The auditors apparently overlooked this, highlighting how fresh and crazy this field is. There are always completely new protocols sprouting up with amazing yields and features, and it might be best to let others be the experimental pig for you, in case anything goes wrong. You never know what might happen. Even an audit, as we've shown, can overlook something. In any case, the problem has been resolved, and MinSwap currently controls more than 60% of the total TVL on Cardano, while outpacing all other dexes. As a result, the value of TVL and the usefulness of Cardano are increasing, causing prices to rise. The other Cardano catalysts will be covered for a variety of reasons. Now let's look at various Cardano catalysts that are assisting in the price increase. Grayscale recently announced the introduction of a new smart contract platform fund, and it was revealed that Cardano is the biggest holder in the fund, accounting for more than 25% of the total, indicating that smart money is truly getting behind Cardano. Furthermore, Coinbase introduced Cardano staking last month, enhancing accessibility and providing even more incentive for long-term holders. Cardano's price soared 10% in the week following Coinbase's announcement of staking, owing to a variety of intriguing events. Coinbase's current rates are roughly 3.75% APY with a lock-in period. Now we have a few more rapid-fire events to go before the most important news of all. There will be numerous launches in the future. Cardex is launching DJED, Cardano's first stable coin. This launch has been pushed out to May. ErgoDex will debut their Cardano testnet on April 4th, while Cardano will have its next hard fork upgrade around June, called Vasil. Hard forks have always been associated with huge price increases in Cardano's history, as evidenced by the graph below. The Vasil upgrade will prioritize scalability owing to Cardian's outroar in Twitter. All you require to learn is that this upgrade will employ a technology known as Diffusion Pipelining, which will aid Cardano in increasing transaction speeds as the network grows in popularity. So, if you think this video has clarified some things for you, please consider liking it and clicking that bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you might want to consider subscribing to our channel. It'll really help us out. Back to our video. Now for the final and possibly most interesting Cardano update. I'm amazed there hasn't been more coverage on this. It's the formal launch of Milko Mida. Don't worry if you don't understand what that implies. I can't say I blame you. This means that Milkomeda has now officially certified Cardano EVM compatibility. Basically, they've made it feasible for Ethereum dApps or programs to be converted to Cardano in a secure and straightforward manner. This is huge for several reasons. For starters, it exposes Cardano to a flood of new dApps to play with, but it also addresses one of the most common issues developers have about Cardano: its difficult programming language, Plutus. This means that developers who are familiar with Ethereum, which is the most common blockchain platform, can incorporate Ethereum's code and launch it on Cardano. We'll see more and more launches like this as time goes on. Overall, this is a wonderful time for Cardano, which has decided to emerge from its winter hibernation. This isn't to imply that you shouldn't check up on the projects you've invested in and operate them on a regular basis. In the crypto world, things can change very rapidly. Usability is among the most crucial factors to me. If I utilize a blockchain because it's simple and inexpensive, I'm confident that others will feel the same way, and the network will develop over time. So, keep a watch out for new Cardano dApps, give them a try, and check in on TVL every now and then to evaluate how Cardano stacks up against competitors, since their DEXs and other dApps are currently up and running. This is such an amazing period for crypto. I can't emphasize it enough. So much is evolving, and there are so many prospects to explore and invest in. And with that, this concludes our video. Acquired a lot of knowledge from this? We recommend checking out our other relevant videos from our channel. Also consider sharing this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time!